I would like to quote the lyrics from a song by Katy Perry. You're so hypnotizing. Could you be the devil? Could you be an angel? You're not like the others, futuristic lover. You're from a whole other world, a different dimension. You open my eyes, and I'm ready to go. Lead me into the light. In the first part of this video, I talked about the phenomenological process of consciousness that occurs within some Europeans, leading from a separation from the cosmopolitan abstract universality of leftism dominant in the West and turning towards conservatism, an opposition to some form of immigration or immigration as such, the conflict between alt-right and alt-light, the discovery of the IQ, the women, biological determinations, evolutionary psychology, sociobiology, and each time that consciousness changes, behavior changes, and it's not just a mental experience, it's a sociological, political, historical, because once your mind, your state of mind has changed, you will behave differently, and you will meet what I could call figures of consciousness on your path, which are real, living people making videos on YouTube, or writing books, or making political speeches, or whatever. So these people are a manifestation of spirit. And yes, so we left at the level of the libertarianism, someone like Ron Paul, and you will study economics, law, ethics, capitalism. You will praise capitalism as opposed to the socialism of the elites that they want to implement. You will love liberty and reject equality, so you will have this opposition. And I remember from my personal experience, it was 2018, I understood that white identity was contradictory for the reason that I mentioned before, because among whites there are different political, religious, determination. So it's an abstract idea. It's an idea in the mind of der Verstand, the understanding. It's not real. White identity only exists in the mind of those who believe in it, but it's contradictory. It's self-negating. And libertarianism is also conflictual because when you enter the realm of libertarianism, you abandon your natural determinations and you become a thinking substance defending the idea of freedom. But the contradiction is that some others can pretend to be libertarians while defending their ethnic interests. And it's a way of subverting libertarianism in a way. So I understood that white identity and libertarianism had to meet at some point, and this is what happened by an author who published a book, White, Right, and Libertarian, in 2018, I think. So it was the spirit unconsciously made manifest to itself. So yeah, and then you will discover the JQ, and you will understand that all that you have criticized or hated or rejected was more or less, more than less, influenced by the people that you know. And therefore you will be confronted by another contradiction. You will start to read the National Socialist authors, and you will find that they wrote things which partly enables you to understand modernity. So you will be driven into this mindset, and you will radicalize yourself, and you will become very negative, and you will start hating the whole world. You will hate the left, the establishment, the soft right, the conservative, the libertarian. So you will be standing alone against the whole world, and you will start seeing evil everywhere. And Hegel teaches us that he who sees evil all around him is the root of all evil. And I know that because I think of myself as being the negative, so I understand that this is a moment in the process. So you will meet figures of consciousness like Andrew Anglin, who is the symbol of evil in our culture, because in his view, he is standing against the whole world. He hates everyone. And this is the reason why separation and negation leads to evil in a way. So you will create a more positive relationship to your people by seeking a spiritual bond. You will notice that just politics or ethnic interests leads you nowhere. So you will try to seek a spiritual bond, a spiritual connection with your people, and you will be driven towards paganism. And just a thing I would like to mention is that in this process of consciousness, the mind will start rejecting communism, socialism, and praising capitalism. But after having met the JQ, you will start rejecting capitalism, and you will say capitalism and communism are two sides of the same coin. So you are already in a dialectical process of unifying opposites and transcending them. So you will seek some sort of a proto-socialist communistic lifestyle in a way, and you will seek that in a pagan organic community will start rejecting modern life, technology, development, civilization, and imagine a good life of simplicity and life in nature. So the right-wing process of radicalization will lead you to a radical ecological leftist mindset. So you will be turned into your own opposites. It's part of a dialectical movement. And this is the birth of some form of spirituality, because there is a pagan community developing itself, but there's a difference between the abstract pagans and the concrete pagans. That's Hegelian vocabulary. The concrete pagans, which are the real pagans, are pagan Europeans who have gone through all the steps that I have described in the first video and in this video. So they have a full mind, and they have integrated within their mind the moments of negation, and they have aufgehoben, they have transcended the negative moments, but they contain the determination still within them. So they have a clear understanding of the political aspects of the modern West, the cultural, demographic, biological aspects. So they are awakened in a way, and that's what makes them spiritual in comparison to the leftist pagan, because the ethnic determination is an essential moment in the development of paganism. So here you will find a spiritual community in a way, but you will also be driven towards ancestral wisdom, like someone like Evola, or Hermeticism, or magical teachings and stuff like that. You will seek a higher form of enlightenment, a higher form of wisdom. And those who have gone to the radical roots of negating will discover radical right-wing authors like Pierce and Devi and Rosenberg, and they will start seeking spiritual elevation in these authors. But these authors contain a contradiction within themselves, that they think that they defend a white position or a white identity, but their spiritual teachings include a holistic view of being, a total view of the universe, an integrating view of the world and spirit. So the process of negation will lead to the opposite. And when you think you are the most pro-white or pro-European, you will become a global thinker in a way. And you will discover cosmotheism. Very few people go that far, but you will do. And cosmotheism contains a contradiction, that it is the most elevated point of European consciousness, but it turns into its opposite, because cosmotheism means that the entire universe is a manifestation of the divine, and that all thinking creatures within it are part of this divine process. Whatever their skin color, their origin. I know it sounds leftist, but that's the truth. You will be brought back to leftist, cosmopolitan, universalist, brotherly love of everyone, but you will have been mediated by the process of the negative, and you will have spiritualized your worldview. And that was the whole purpose of the negative moment. And then very few will go even further and And from cosmotheism or pagan spirituality, they will elevate themselves to a philosophical outlook on the world, and they will rediscover the philosophical tradition of Europe. But it is the same as cosmotheism, is that the greatest European thinkers were only accidentally European. They were conceptually holistic. And the German thinkers, but also the ancient Greek thinkers or the Neoplatonists had a complete view of the universe, which included negativity within it. So they had a total view. They had a total a total view of the universe. So yeah, I will stop that for now.